Wolfman, the new horror movie. Out now. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I have just seen Wolfman, which I think is a remake of an older movie. Um, Seems like it, sounds like it. But look, the Wolfman. Well, Wolfman, sorry. There's no the. The trailers looked decent. I'm just gonna say the trailers looked decent. I was like, you know what? I'm always down for it. And then we got the release of what the Wolfman would look like, and I was kind of like, okay, interesting choices, but okay. So I sat down and I watched Wolfman. And I'm going to tell you right now, this was predictable. I predicted the whole entire plot from like the minute I saw it for the first time. I was like, oh, I know where this is going already. I know exactly what's going to happen, and everything I thought happened. Is like I look, you can be predictable. You can have a predictable movie where you know what's going to happen. But if you execute it and the journey along the way to that is really well done, then oh yeah, let's go. Doesn't matter. This was not. I mean, the whole first half of this movie was boring. Boring. I look, there was one moment at the start with a kid and his dad in a deer stand. That was great. That was really, really great. I really enjoyed that moment. The tension was there. I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, cool. The way that they shot it with the breath and everything, fantastic. But then when you meet our main cast, it felt so boring. The characters were boring. Very boring. Little development for the characters. Little development. I mean, you find out immediately, like, okay, there's a problem with the marriage, obviously. So they're gonna go do this thing because that's what you do when you in this situation. And it's kind of like just then goes from there, and then the characters don't really develop at all. Nothing really gets like that's the most frustrating thing. I don't care for the characters. I don't care. I was sitting there and I was like, so am I supposed to be attached to these characters? Am I supposed to care about them surviving this night? Because I didn't. The transformation, look, while there are parts that are really cool about the transformation, like the horror side of it, yes, great. Really, really like that idea. But man, it took forever. Oh my word. I was sitting there and I was like, okay. So his transformation is very, very slow. Like we're watching it happen in time, but it's taking its sweet time to get there. The cool thing I liked about the whole transformation was when you would change from, the outside view where we can, as humans understand, but when it goes to their perspective, to the person that is transforming into this wolfman, the way that they see the world, very fascinating, very, very cool. And the way that the language then starts to break apart and they lose all the senses of what makes them human. That, I really like that concept. I really like that idea, and I really like the visual elements of that. To me, that was the strongest part. And there's this one scene in a barn where that happens, when it does that flip thing like that. And it just, to me, it looked fantastic when it did that. But outside of that, I just thought it was dull. I really did. Like, there's some gross moments. There's like really, really gross moments. But it's not like anything outrageous. Like, when I was watching it, I expected a bit more gore, a bit more blood. There is some of it in here, but it's nowhere near what I thought it was going to be and what I would like in this type of movie. I mean, it's about a guy transforming into like a werewolf, basically. Why can't I see him rip things to shreds? Why can't I? I mean, you see it in the trailer where the guy, where the truck is upside down like that thing, and the guy's on thing and he gets dragged away. You don't see anything. Which is a shame. I mean, I come to a horror movie like this with werewolves. What do I want to see? I want to see this werewolf rip people to shreds. you don't see that. So I never really got to see the full extent of this animalistic creature at all. And the whole, like, first up, I'm watching him transform and stuff like that, and like the idea of him losing his humanity is great and all, but you could have sped that up. You really could have sped that up, because I was sitting there, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. And then, you know, what is happening on the outside of the house, you're like, huh, I know what's going to happen here. I know exactly what's happening. So you're already prepared for what is about to happen. And when it does happen, you just sit there and you roll your eyes, because you're like, huh, it's not like I called that. Every single, like, jump scare that they rely on in this movie is predictable, so you know it's coming, so you don't get the jump scare at all. It's just little things like that. Like, it could have been more creative with the scares. Like, you don't have to rely on a jump scare to scare someone. Build that tension. Build it. Build the atmosphere. And I don't think it did that enough. Like I said, at the very start with the kids and with the kid and the dad, they built the atmosphere. They built the tension there. To me, that was the best part of the film. Like, one of the best parts was that the tension was there. The atmosphere was there. I was on the edge of my seat. And I was so like, okay, if it's going to be like this, let's go. But it just never did. It never got to that. Which was a shame, because I want it to be like that. Now, there is some parts where it's really dark and it's really hard to see what is happening or what's going on. The music, the score, I thought, look, the score, the way that they edited the score around, I think they did a fantastic job with that, with, you know, trying to create that atmosphere with the score and then silence, and all you could hear was the breathing or something like that. So they tried to make the atmosphere and stuff like that. I just don't think it was executed that well. But the characters, like I said, they're just very one-dimensional. You just don't really care for it. There's no real development for them in this type of movie, which, I mean, it is what it is. I think some people are going to like this movie. I do think some people will like this movie. I think others are going to absolutely hate it. I really feel that. I feel like this is one of those movies that's going to be one extreme to another extreme. I thought it was meh. It's not one I'm going to rewatch again. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. Maybe you guys absolutely loved it. And if you did, that is freaking awesome. I envy you, because I wanted to like it. I had hope at the start, but then it faded away. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the movie. Smash it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe and take care. Peace out.